Welcome to ZZ Talk with Zeus
and Zeno.
This is a podcast of two very ordinary guys talking about everything and anything, including sports, I was going to say education, pop culture, and a heavy dose of politics.
I mean, I guess we could talk about education. I just think that would last like 5 minutes and we'd be done.
You know what? How I'm doing? Education. I just started school. So online school. I'll hold on to what kind of school it is until later. But yeah, I just started school, so it's so we can talk about education. I can tell you about how yeah, when you're 35, it's a little bit different to be at school than when you're 21. So it's a little bit of a different life doing school online, middle age with kids. But
so since it's online, I'm assuming it's not woodworking or something similar. I see a lot of like wooden shelves behind you. So I was like, maybe that's a thing.
I'm going to doctorate school. Everything is virtual, so pretty soon we're going to get virtual with patients. I'm assuming.
With patients? Oh, doctor, like a medical doctor. Sorry, yeah.
No, like Dr. Joe Biden is what I'm going to be.
Well, okay. I mean, there's been a lot of. Yeah, I'm not going into that. So anyway, I've been good. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I actually have a trip coming up in a couple of weeks. No, 3 weeks, I think. So we won't be recording that week. We might record before that.
We need to record before that because next week I have a trip. I'm actually going to I'm actually going to with the kids to the Bahamas. We got to take a COVID test too, which is like, man, traveling during the COVID, like now, like obviously we're trying to get back to normal, but you realize very slowly, like we might try to get back to normal, but normal's not. It's gonna have a hard time coming here because they're still having to adjust a lot of things. So, anyways, we're going to the Bahamas actually for our honeymoon. So our honeymoon to celebrate our 5-year anniversary.
Nice.
And we're taking the kids. It's a nice little trip. Apparently Bahamas doesn't have all inclusive, so it's not an all inclusive. So we're still gonna have to buy our lunch and dinner, but it's gonna be a nice little resort. We're trying to go to a water park, Atlantis, on Saturday. But we're leaving on Thursday. On Monday, we got to take our COVID test, and then you got to pray that you don't come out positive out of nowhere. I mean, we got our vaccine. We both got our vaccines. Speaking of which, did you do your second dose yet?
It's a Johnson & Johnson, so it's 1 dose.
Oh, that's right. How's your blood count?
I'm good. I didn't have a stroke, so I think I'm fine. I think I'm in the clear.
Okay. No, we had our second dose, and it was sometimes I wouldn't mind taking the chance for the blood clot because that second time the day after, man. I mean, the thing with me is whenever I'm sick, I'm usually only sick like every time I have a bug, it's like an 8-hour bug. Like in the morning, I wake up, and then by the afternoon, I'm fairly normal. So it was like, well, my wife would argue I'm never normal, but it was okay. It wasn't that bad. Hers was horrible. She was out for the count. So
yeah, mine was pretty bad. And I only had the 1 shot, but
so you guys get sick. You guys get sick. Like we're different people.
Yeah. No, yeah. We guys get sick. No, yeah, I got sick from it was like I think so I took it and then later that night I started to feel a little tired. And then when I tried to sleep that night, I started getting like shivers,
Yeah.
And then during the whole next day, I could barely like stand up straight. Like everywhere I would go, because I'm lucky enough to work from home, so I'll take my laptop and I'm working, but I'd get to the couch and I like would work, but horizontally. Like I couldn't sit upright. I was so fatigued the entire day.
You turned into you ever see My Wife and Kids? The show My Wife and Kids. Yeah, with Damon Wayans, where she would faint. Whoopsies.
Yeah, that was me. That was me all day. It was ridiculous. I had to order pizza.
You know what? We got the vaccine though, right, man? I mean, like, and now they just actually recently. I just saw an article where they said that they're fairly confident, which I'm still not going to do. I'm still going to wear a face mask, but they're fairly confident that people who've taken their vaccines, because I don't know if it's based on the fact that so many people have taken the vaccine or whatnot. But now we can go out without face masks. But the unfortunate part is it's not the ones who took the vaccines that aren't wearing the face mask. It's the ones who refuse to take the vaccines.
The people who think it's important to take the vaccine probably are already wearing face masks. And honestly, I'll keep doing it just because it's a good example to set. But like also, I know there are a lot of people who will, or I don't want to say a lot of people. There's a number of people that will go and download fake vaccine cards just because it's so much easier than just getting a free vaccine. Yeah,
A free vaccine, thank you. A
yeah,
free vaccine, like they're giving them out.
it's
They're like,
free.
they're Oprah. You get a vaccine. She
Yeah,
gets a. Oh, you don't want one? Okay, never mind.
like CVS is apparently having to like not order vaccines anymore because no one is filling out the appointments. So I think some of the vaccines are going bad because no one is
Yeah.
going.
Now
It's
there was a.
it's
So I went to a primary care just to get a check, normal checkup, right? And they they came to me and they was like, "Hey, do you want to get the vaccine today?" It was the Johnson & Johnson. Oh no, it was the vice.
Pfizer. Okay.
Yeah. And it was like, do you want to get it? I was like, why? She was like, well, the guy canceled it. And if we already, I guess they took it out or they did something.
Yeah.
And then we have to throw it away. But thankfully, I put it on Facebook. Somebody commented on it. And then she, what's it called? She didn't get to go, but she says that one of her, either her mother or her friend or mother's friend, they went and got it. I'm like, yeah. I was like, people, a lot of people are vying for these things, were at least. I think it's a little more readily available now, obviously.
Yeah.
But a lot of people were just like, there were some people who were desperate for it, and then there's people who can get it and they don't want. Come on, man. Anyways,
Yeah, I really wanted to get it before my DC trip, so I was glad I got the Johnson & Johnson when I did back then. But yeah, so you have your trip next week, and then I think we're both in town the week after that, and then I have my trip the week after that, which is to Iceland. A friend of mine, a friend of mine was like, "We're going to Iceland. You want to come?" And I was like thinking of why I should say no, and I couldn't think of a good reason. So I was like, yeah, all right. So that's it. Some good Iceland.
So see, with me, the issue would be, what do I do with the rest of my 3 members of my family?
Oh yeah, you have a reason to say no.
I'm a little bit of an introvert, or I'm lazy. I don't want to go. That's the biggest obstacle you had to deal with.
I mean, you got it perfectly. Yeah, that's like, I have to get up.
Oh, go on a vacation to a magical land.
I have to pack my bags. So yeah, that's what I had to deal with.
Hey man, you have fun in that trip, man. Maybe I'm thinking that maybe we should record, or we should just go ahead and record while you're in the hotel, just so we could say we're ZZ Talk on location.
I might do like a blog, like record that and then post that as like a blog entry.
That's what's up.
ZZ Blogs.
All right, man. So what's on the agenda today, man?
Yeah, so it's gonna be a short show. We always say that it ends up being like our longest show of the year. So but we have very little on the docket today. We're gonna start off our top 5 with our top 5 Falcons games that we're anticipating for 2021. Because the schedule's out now, so we can talk about that. That's gonna lead us into our conversation about the NFL draft that passed. I don't know if you guys saw, we put out a nice little 3-minute clip of our reactions to like the top 11 picks. So we're gonna actually react to the draft now because we've had some time to let that settle in. Some of our opinions on certain picks have changed, and they've done some off-season acquisitions since then. So we can talk about it more fully. And then we're gonna do an Atlanta sports wrap-up. The NBA playoffs are starting soon. A bit more of the baseball season has elapsed, so we can talk more about that, and then also Atlanta United. So that's it for sports. Then we're gonna go into politics. It's a bit of a smaller politics section. Both stories have to do with the House of Representatives. First being Liz Cheney being ousted from her number 3 spot in Republican leadership, and then Marjorie Taylor Greene, whom I never want to ever talk about, and yet she always puts herself in the news. She got into a spat with another famous House of Representative member. You guys probably know who she is. And then after that, we're going to talk a little bit about entertainment. There's a big entertainment story, big-ish, about falling out between Seth Rogen and James Franco. And we want to talk about that because it deals with some sexual misconduct allegations against Franco, and how much responsibility do you have for the company you keep. So yeah, that's the agenda. So